Hey guys, Hitman89 here. I hope you're doing great. Last time we had my Starfield review, and today I'm gonna show you the best RPGs of 2023. I'm not gonna make this intro longer than it needs to be, so without further ado, let's start with the first game. If you like informative and good-looking loading screens, then you'll love Starfield. In all seriousness though, despite its numerous technical issues and outdated design, Starfield is fun and addictive. You can build your own spaceship, mine resources, or better, build outposts to gather even more resources and then use them to craft all kinds of items. Or you could just kill everyone, loot every outpost, and sell everything. Even though you can't carry shit in this game. And what's even more limited than your carrying capacity is the AI. For real, the enemies in this game are just dumbass bullet sponges that are only there to make sure you're out of ammo all the time. For a more in-depth, honest review, check out the one I made. Yeah, I'm plugging my shit. It's called marketing. Anyway, let's move on to the second game, which happens to be my game of the year so far. Baldur's Gate 3 has likable characters, awesome voice acting, and apart from the dope-ass story that's full of deception, funny moments, and plot twists that'll blow your mind, the amount of freedom and game mechanics here allow you to have an insane amount of approaches. Mine is usually to weasel my way out of combat with persuasion and deception, but when that fails and I have to fight, I just spam shove until I push my enemies off a cliff. You can play Baldur's Gate 3 alone, but the game supports up to 4 players online and 2 players in split screen. It landed on PS5 last week and it's coming to Series X and S later this year. Keep in mind it's also getting crossplay support at some point, and that's great news. A little fun fact, I'm saving up for a new game on PC because the one I currently have sucks dick. And instead of just waiting for the PS5 version, I played Baldur's Gate on my shitty PC at like 15 frames per second, and I loved it. That's how good this game is. I'm now replaying it on PS5, even though I already beat it and experienced 2 of its many endings in online co-op with my brother on PC. Speaking of PC, the next game on my list is PC only and also has tons of possibilities and freedom, but no story. Cause Wartales is a sandbox post-plague medieval tactical RPG that lets you play as a band of mercenaries. You can get contracts from the local inn to make some money, so you can buy better gear or maybe just repair yours and heal your wounds. You can capture wild animals and either make them carry your stuff or fight for you. You can also recruit as many gang members as you want. No, not that kind of gang members. More like medieval mercenaries. My point is, you can recruit as many animals and people as you can feed. Yes, apart from paying their wages, you're gonna have to feed your gang. That's why I turned my mercenaries into cannibals, so we can eat enemy corpses after every fight. Oh, and Wartales has permadeath, meaning if someone dies, they're gone. At least you get to bury them wherever you want. I never did that though, cause every time a teammate dies, we eat his ass, literally. And that's just a couple of possibilities out of the many this game has to offer. I'll let you discover the rest on your own. So if you have a somewhat decent PC, definitely give this game a shot. But if you're on PS5 and you want a story-driven game with fast-paced real-time combat instead, then you should check out Final Fantasy 16. A lot of people didn't like the changes that occurred with this one, but I like the more mature tone and the one playable character direction. Cause I don't like party-based RPGs with real-time combat. Speaking of combat, you'll mostly be mashing square here, so you could probably play the game with one hand and use your free hand to be on your phone. What did you think I was gonna say? Oh, and don't worry if you're looking away and a quick time event pops up on screen. You have literally 3 seconds to react. I played Final Fantasy 16 in performance mode, and even a few months after it came out, the frame rate is still shitty, especially for a game that doesn't look insane. Yeah, I said it. By the way, I actually think this is a good game, just not a masterpiece, and that's why I'm making sure you know about its flaws so you know what you're buying. Personally, I didn't really like the story, but it's full of epic moments and I had a great time playing this game. Even though, like I said, it's easy as fuck. So if you want a challenging game with slower paced combat, then you might want to take a look at the 5th one. If you've always wanted to play Bloodborne but didn't have a PS4, or maybe you played it and you wanted more of the same, then I'm sure you'll like Lies of P. Cause it's obviously a Bloodborne clone, except here you play as Pinocchio and you gotta fight a bunch of mechanical puppets. At least, since it's not made by From Software, Lies of P doesn't look like a PS3 game and it doesn't run like shit either. As a matter of fact, the graphics are pretty damn good, and the game runs great too. Plus, if you're on PC or Xbox, you can have Lies of P day one on Game Pass, so keep that in mind. Now let's move on to the 6th game. I really like Diablo 4's story. The excellent voice acting made it more interesting and the graphics helped too, cause this is the best looking ARPG yet. Plus, you can play it online with a couple of friends or in split screen with your significant other or sibling. Not on PC though, so keep that in mind. Personally, I played Barbarian and I really enjoyed my time with Diablo 4. Apart from the 30-hour main story quest that's divided in 6 acts, there are tons of side quests, dungeons, strongholds, and events to do. That's not me though, cause as soon as I beat the game, I deleted it and moved on to another one. If you're still on the fence, then wait for a sale, I guess. The 7th game on my list isn't out yet, but I wanted to future-proof this video. Lords of the Fallen isn't just another Souls-like. What makes it stand out from the 69 others is that on this game, there are 2 completely different worlds. So when you die, you resurrect in the realm of the dead. You can also use your lantern to peek into that world, but crossing costs you 1 of your 2 lives. For those of you who want to do this game in co-op, you'll be happy to know it has full crossplay support. Oh, and it's also got PvP, so you can invade and be invaded by other players who will do their best to ruin your day. Based on all the gameplay videos and trailers I've seen, Lords of the Fallen seems to be a solid 8.5 out of 10. We'll find out in a couple of weeks if I'm right or if the game ends up being disappointing. One thing's for sure though, this is one of the very few truly next-gen looking games out there. Anyway, before I let you guys go, here are a couple of honorable mentions. If you like old school RPGs that look like they could easily run on a Game Boy Advance, then you should check out Sea of Stars, especially since it's free if you have Game Pass or PS Plus. Another underrated game is Miasma Chronicles, which is made by the studio behind Mutant Year Zero, another underrated game. Last but not least, earlier this year we've had Octopath Traveler 2. If you like what you see and you haven't played the first one, then you should get it instead because it's dirt cheap now and it's pretty much the same game with different characters. And that's gonna be it for the best RPGs of 2023. Let me know which one is your favorite. Mine is Baldur's Gate 3. If this video helped you find a good RPG that'll keep you busy for a while, then please hit the thumbs up button and consider subscribing for more game reviews and top 10 videos. It's been Hitman89. See you guys very soon.
For the pay stub or you'll pay up. Don't make love to the game, bruh. Fuck the game up. Change up, rearrange stuff to your greatness. Famous for the way up. Play the game, bruh.